You hire a contractor to fix your roof and somehow you end up getting blamed when their ladder crushes your neighbor's fence. That sounds backwards, right? But the truth about who gets sued after an accident is way messier than most people think. Businesses love hiring independent contractors because on paper it feels like a shield, like tossing a hot potato to someone else and walking away clean. The general rule is that a business is not liable for the actions of an independent contractor because that contractor controls their own work. But here's the twist. Courts do not just take your word for it, they actually look at how much control you really have over the person doing the job. If you are telling the contractor exactly when to show up, what tools to use, and micromanaging every little step, congratulations. You might legally look more like their boss than their client. There's even a legal test for this, and lawyers call it the right to control test, which basically asks who is really steering the ship. Another sneaky exception is something called a non-delegable duty, which is a fancy way of saying some responsibilities cannot be handed off no matter how many contracts you sign. Think about inherently dangerous work like demolition or working with explosives, where the risk is so high that the law says, "Nice try, you still own this." There's also the idea of negligent hiring, which means if you hired someone you knew was reckless or unqualified, you cannot hide behind their contractor status. Picture hiring an electrician who was fired from 3 jobs for starting fires, then acting shocked when your building burns down. Insurance companies know all of these tricks too, which is why so many injury cases turn into a tug-of-war between which insurance policy actually has to pay. This is exactly why documentation matters so much, because contracts, safety records, and communication logs can completely change who is found responsible. A lot of people also assume that if paperwork says independent contractor, that settles everything, but judges care more about real-world behavior than the label on a page. History has shown plenty of businesses learn this the hard way after an accident happens, and suddenly their contractor agreement is not the golden shield they imagined. If you are ever hurt in a situation involving contractors, or you run a business trying to figure out where your liability actually starts and stops, do you want to learn more? Check out our links in the description to connect with the right people who can break this down for your exact situation.